Today we're going to show off our road bikes. So being a tri-channel, obviously we have equipment, and two of the main pieces of equipment for us are our road bikes. Amanda also has a time trial bike, and we have mountain bikes, but these are the two we probably use, I would say, the most. So here they are. Here's my bike. As you can see, it's a Specialized. It's actually a Specialized Allez Sprint. So what that means is it's aluminium. You can see the worlds here. I had many carbon bikes and I just love the feel of aluminium. It's very stiff, it's very responsive. So it's a full aluminium frame with a carbon fiber fork and a carbon fiber seat post. So I bought this as a complete 105 bike, and I used some of the components it came with. So the shifters are 105, hydraulic disc brake. Interestingly, this one is only a brake lever. The little shifter that should be here, I actually cut off because I only run a single by. So this is a 1/11 speed. So I got SRAM Force carbon cranks with a single chain ring. So that is a 44 chain ring with an 1132 cassette. So I can ride everything with that. It's got the old Tegra RX rear derailleur with the clutch. So the beauty of that is because I run a single by, I don't get any chain slap. Holds the chain very securely on the cassette. It's got disc brakes. So again, they're Shimano 105 disc brakes. I love disc brakes. I don't know why anyone wouldn't have disc brakes nowadays. And the seat is Specialized own seat, which is just super comfortable. I think it's a really stealthy looking bike, just all in matte black. The wheels are actually an Australian brand called Craftworks. So they're Australian designed, 50mm carbon rim with sealed bearing, obviously disc specific hubs. Tyre choice, always for me Maxxis. So I got the Maxxis Dolomite, which is like a mid-range train slash race tyre. They're 28mm wide, and I run these at about 80 PSI front and rear. Other thing you'll notice is I've got a stem. It's actually a 20-degree stem that I've got reversed because the head tube on this bike's quite tall, and I found I wasn't quite low enough. So with this stem in the reverse position, I managed to get my handlebars down a little bit lower. So you can see that looks really low. It's not. It's about what I'm used to on all my bikes. I'm 186 centimeters, so this is actually a 58 centimeter bike. Relatively short through the top tube for a 58, or for what I'm used to, hence why I've got the 130mm stem on. And my bars width-wise are 42 centimeter, center to center, which again is what I've always run, and I just feels right for me on a road bike. The finishing touches, got Look Keo pedals. I've always used Look pedals. I just like them. They work well. A carbon water bottle cage. And that's it. That's all I have on my bike. I don't carry anything on the handlebars, only lights if we're riding early morning. And that's my weapon of choice, and I love it.
And this is my bike. I've got a Fuji. So when I bought this bike, there were two things that I was looking for. One, it had to look good, and two, it had to be blue. Ta-da! A good looking blue bike. So I know it's got disc brakes, and I only know that because Tim said I should get a bike with disc brakes. So I've got a bike with disc brakes. I don't know how many gears it has. I know that this side changes one gear, a lot of gears, and this side changes the other lot of gears. And I still sometimes get confused about which one it's changing, whether I'm going to a harder gear or an easier gear. and I get confused when people say go high or go low, because I'm like, am I going harder or easier? I have no idea about the pedals. I have no idea. Actually, there is one other thing that I do know about it. It has a really good seat. So this is my Sella Italia seat. I had that on my first bike because the girl that I bought my first bike from said to get a seat like this, and that's the kind of seat I've had on all my bikes. So that's the only thing I have, and it's blue and I love it.
Interestingly, she's interested in it being blue, and it is, and it's a great bike. As far as gearing and so forth, well, Amanda doesn't really know. She just loves it and rides it, and that's all that's really important to her. So hers is a full carbon frame. So carbon frame, carbon fork. It's got Shimano Ultegra, complete group set disc. So front and rear discs, obviously. It's an 11 speed, so she does run a double chainring, so 2x11, so 22 gears. It has all the oval concept bits and pieces, which is Fuji's home brand. So it's got quite deep alloy rims, sealed bearing hubs. Again, Maxxis tyres, we're a Maxxis tyre family. These ones actually are the rollers, very similar to the tyres I run. Double compound, so where they're grey, when cornering, they're a little bit grippier, and in the middle, the black is where you spend most of your time, so you're not going to wear it out too quickly. I run Amanda's tyres between about 70 and 80 psi because she's littler than me. The Sella Italia saddle is a lady saddle, as it says here. So she had that on her last bike and loves that, so we put that on. This is actually a small, it's not a women's specific. We had to put a fairly long stem on for her, so that's a 120mm stem. And they're a 40mm width bar. So we had to put a longer stem so she could get her reach right. But as I said, this isn't a women's specific. I'm not sure if I'm that big a fan on a women's specific bike. They're not a lot different. By putting on a lady's saddle and adjusting the cockpit, you're pretty well going to get there anyway. Amanda has Shimano pedals. These actually came off her old bike. They work fine. She's got a couple of water bottle cages. This one for water, and this one she's got a little tool cam where she carries her spares and everything else. And that's Amanda's bike, the Tech Talk. Not sure if we can use this with no helmets, but we rode about 150 metres so we could film our bikes. So please don't comment about no helmets. Also got thongs on and jeans. So obviously we're not going out for a ride. Perfect. With camera, it's recording. It's the red light.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, put that in. Bloopers.
Now bikes. Like that. Look, yours. Oh my god.